Uh, how did you balance, sir, uh, activism and commercialism in this film?
Right. Thank you for that question, sir. First, I have to let you know that upon thinking of all those, that questions about the word activism and the commercialism, first, being a filmmaker, I'm being asked, why are you going to do this? Why? Specifically, why? Who is your target market? So therefore, my target market was the children, were the children, the youth. There was no film about the young Rizal for the youth because the youth cannot really grasp on those, shall we say, serious type of film because they don't care so much about that. What they care about is something that will, delight their eyes. So it should be colorful. It should not be. I used to have my historical film Watawat. I make it sepia. You see, so boring sepia. Unlike this one, colorful. Colorful because the children will, especially we put animation into that. We included the famous monkey and the tortoise of Dr. Cerestal, and we made it animated. So we commissioned an animator here in the Philippines, and we said, please do a 2D, even just a 2D, not 3D, just the 2D of the monkey and the tortoise. Voila! It it was a good combination with the motion picture and the animation because the first 3 minutes of the film is very critical for the younger audience. So there. So speaking about the activism and commercialism, actually, I did not think of that so much. I just think of I want to go back to my childhood. So therefore, I feel the target audience to feel like me also. So that's it. Basically, it's a very simple simple movie, but with a heart.
Now, sir, this is uh, the poster of the film. It seems like you have a blonde hair with a headphones on at one half, with some kind of a computer game, computer electronic game
Smartphone,
module,
smartphone, yes.
smartphone, and the other half is
Mhm.
a dark hair with a book. Uh, what was the idea about? How do you interpret this poster that features your film?
The poster should really attract and gets the curiosity of anyone who can see it. Something like what's that poster is all about? Why is it so? You see, there are so many questions already that will arise upon just looking at the poster because that poster should serve already the synopsis of the film. So there we have one child there, but with two distinct part ways of something like the past and the present, which we were able to do that in the film. The opening of the film is contemporary, meaning we are under the pandemic situation. So as the young Joshua, being playful with the Mobile Legend, the grandmother who's a retired principal is requesting already the child to finish his module because we're already in the era of online education. So upon encouraging the present kid to study, he said there was a young boy also who was into playing. Who's that hero? He said because that kid do not know Pepe. So the journey begins when the grandmother started to uh, do the journey back to the past and the life of Pepe. So that's why there's a two significant division in that poster, the young Jose and the Josh of the present time.
If you can talk to an ordinary Filipino uh, child, how would you explain to him what the uh, movie is about?
What makes you interested in the internet right now or nowadays? Of course, they would be saying the online games. Now, with the online games, who's your favorite character or hero? Of course, they will be mentioning who's the Pokemon or anyone, the heroes, ML heroes. But when they ask about the hero of the past, of course, they will, especially the millennials or the G, shall we call that the Gen X, the Gen Z generation, more than I mean, more advanced than the millennials. So they do not know about Pepe. So with this picture, uh, we will be asking him or the child will be asking, "What do you see about that?" Oh, that's a animated guy or kid playing a smartphone and a book. So what can you say about that? Maybe they're the antagonist and the protagonist, something like that. But actually, they are players. They are players in their respective era. So Pepe there is a character. It's good in top or the yo-yo playing, but he's studying that playing tactics through the books by reading. Unlike the present Josh, smartphones, electrically based digital games. So that's the difference. In fact, in the film, we're able to let them encounter each other, the past and the present.
Very nice.
That's what they're going to watch about. That's
Well,
very exciting in that scene.
now, obviously, the knights and the Rizales and maybe just the ordinary audience are, shall we say, salivating about watching this movie after you have described about this
Yeah.
movie.
I
Do
like the
you
term
have a
salivating, Sir Alwin.
do you have any or clamoring or anticipating? Maybe, sir, after you have described this movie, people are in anticipation in seeing this. How could they avail in seeing the film maybe for the second time, maybe for the first time?
All right. So actually, we tried to inquire about the cinemas locally here. It's really still impossible for them to go to the. Of course, they can go back to the malls, but basically, in the cinema, there should still be a protocol of individually separated with each other. With the social distancing type of watching it. So therefore, you can never talk with each other while watching the film or any movies at that. So asking me about how can they watch this, good thing that we have the tickettome.net. Tickettome.net will be streaming. The word is streaming, not screening. Streaming online. They can avail and watch it in their respective smartphones or, what's this? Project it into a bigger screen in their TV or LED TV by just having that link. It's just cheap, it's 250 pesos. And for the benefit also of, schools that we would like to show this soon. And that's the Knights of Rizal came in. Like, for example, they would like to have sponsors, partners to assist us in procuring procuring a link that the school children or basically far-flung area schools that do not go to the schools yet, that do not have the face-to-face classes, they can still watch it through this smartphone medium.
Now, sir, this is really nice to be able to do that. I can see the potential of this in the organization of the Knights of Rizal, where they could gather their kids and maybe in the program or maybe a special program to watch a young Jose Rizal. And I think we are very lucky with this present. Knights of Rizal dispensation, we have, of course, Sir Calairo, who is very active in historical and artistic ventures. And of course, our Vice Mayor Supremo, Sir
Yes,
Jerry Calderon,
Jerry
who is
Calderon.
from Mangono, which is the arts capital of the Philippines. So I think maybe there's a special place for artists with the advent of this new Supreme Trustee. In fact, I remember during an interview, Sir Calderon mentioned about this film and mentioned about how this could be potentially a strong medium in uh, asking the young Filipino children to be involved in the Knights of Rizal or in Rizalism. Now, sir, at this point, I'd like to thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to interview you and talk about your film. And I wanted to ask how, for the Knights of Rizal who are watching, how can they help you or help artists in your medium uh, be more of a vehicle in our mandate for the spread of Rizal's life and works?
Well, of course, with the Knights of Rizal there, we have already series of meetings that I was able to, go back to the Knights of Rizal headquarters in Port area. In fact, with the Supremo Jerry Calderon, I'd like to say, wow, the headquarters was already, modified into something like a very beautiful place that, you have that kind of place that you can think and go back a nostalgic way of thinking about Rizal. Now, about Rizal, with this medium, I'm just a precedent to that because I'd like to encourage other young filmmakers that in the future this kind of film must be not only duplicated but basically multiplied several times already because there is already a chance for them to become a filmmaker in any way that they can. Like for example, me, there should be no limit. It's just that they have to have that kind of a desire and perseverance of doing it. No matter pandemic will not stop us from being as creative as we are. So that's why, like for example, with your poetry, Sir Alwin, it's a poetry, but this time from poetry it will become song, and then of course a song can become one of the theme songs of the motion picture. So something like that. So that's how I'm encouraging our youth to please support this film because eventually there will be a sequel to this. That's why they're already in the Knights of Rizal. They're already looking for the look-alike of Jose Rizal, the grown-up Jose Rizal and Josephine Bracken, because another genre that is coming up after the childhood will be the romantic, romanticizing Rizal, and then of course we don't have to settle on the political aspect or the, shall we say, the social menace thing. We have to go into that beautiful things only, the good experiences.
So, sir, it's very nice to hear that there's a early collaboration already with the Knights of Rizal, and you are planning a sequel already for the El Genio. I will give you permission to use my poem and and the song that was there about the love story of
Isn't it? Yes.
yeah, of Jose Rizal. I think you saw that, and hopefully you can use that in your film, the poem, the song that I composed. But anyway, the last question, sir, and again, thank you so much for this opportunity for us to learn about you, your projects, and how the Knights of Rizal could be a part of this wonderful medium. Uh, my last question is, how did this experience, the whole experience, change your perspective on Jose Rizal? Or did it change your perspective on Dr. Jose Rizal, our national hero?
Yes, it did change my perspective, like change for the better. The youth is the hope of the motherland, or in Tagalog, ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. That's basically one of the teasers that we we made in the YouTube because we believe there is hope. Even if there is a catastrophe, calamity, or shall we say, uh, political debacle and everything, and the economy is going down, still there is hope. So just look at the green grass of hope of the rice fields, something like that. Just go into the look into the brighter side of the world, and everything will be okay. And just the happiness in your heart, no matter people around you are that frustrated, or shall we say negative or pessimistic, just be optimist. Optimism is something that helped me in pursuing this project, and I believe As I've said, going back to that famous quote that we have in Knights of Rizal, non omnis moria.
Do you have any last words before we go?
Okay, to the audience worldwide, be you a Filipino or not, because basically admiring Rizal is not only just for Filipinos but other nationalities. They admire Rizal that much. So that's why we just have to show to the world that not just as a Filipino, but as an individual who dreamt of becoming great and something like that. Being great, this nation will be great again, is what we foresee currently, because I believe my message is clear that with this kind of medium, uh, we let the audience to hope for the better. And because there are some individuals, being lurk into the dark, and the frustrations of, being poor, having that illnesses or diseases that they have, they tend to commit suicide. So by watching this film, your hope will be regained, and we believe that life is wonderful. So there's no way of stopping you, and show to the world how great we are as a human.
Well, once again, sir, thank you, and thank you for making this feel-good movie about Jose Rizal, and educating us more on your perspective about his youth and his dreams. And that note, sir, Nanum Nis Moriar.
Nanom Nis Mariar, my pleasure, Sir Alwin.